So let me start with a story. This was back in 2007. I was looking for a supplement to use, and I knew that there was something out there that could improve my workouts some way, one way or another. This one particular supplement was just beta-alanine. I remember just feeling tingles. I would take it, head to the gym, and I would just feel the tingles. I would feel like I'm getting some power, some kind of like Superman kind of feeling, where the blood was just like going through my veins, and I would remember just feeling that these tingles were going to make me more powerful. It was just like a mindset thing, maybe a placebo effect, because it didn't even have caffeine. But yeah, it helped improve my workouts, and this feeling, although it wasn't like something I was looking for, it gave me this feeling like it was going to do something incredible within me. I didn't know what it was, but I could feel it. Thus started the adventure with pre-workouts, because that package also came with a sample of No Explode. No Explode was like a pre-workout. I think it's still available today, but at that time it was just caffeine and a bunch of ingredients in prop blends. And for me, I wasn't even drinking coffee. So No Explode had such a big effect on me that it started like this route, this journey of supplement usage. Everything came together eventually. I understood what the ingredients were, and over time I did my research and I got into this hobby of looking at supplement formulas. Got kind of obsessed with it, and thus here we are with this YouTube channel. So I kind of want to help you guys. I know in this day and age, it's never been easier to be exposed to information. You have kids doing SARMs at like 14 years old, even steroid users. It's kind of incredible. And back in my day, you know, there was usage of that, but smartphones were not so much a thing. It was just becoming a thing. But now these days we're exposed to so much information left and right. It's so easy to fall for the wrong information, and it's a good and bad thing. You know, there's good information, there's bad information. But for me, I have 15 years of experience when it comes to training and supplement usage. I have a ton of things that I've learned, and some of those things include like what the best supplements are, what I would buy if I had no choice but to buy a supplement right now, what I would buy. And there's only a couple things I would recommend. In fact, you would be surprised to learn there's only a couple that you really need if you're looking to buy supplements, because you don't really need supplements. The first thing about them, the first thing you should know about supplements is that they are a tool. They are extra. They're supposed to be on top of your training routine. You're supposed to be able to train without one if you had to. And I have before tons of times. You should still be motivated. You should still push yourself. A pre-workout just takes it to another level by enhancing, you know, energy and stuff. So these kind of supplements, they come in left and right, and these days we have so many categories, and even within a category we have like it branches into more categories. Pre-workouts come in vegan, it comes in high stimulant, it comes in high pumps, comes in balanced formula. So there's all kinds of supplements out there, not only with pre-workouts, but there's like anabolics as well, like natural ones like testosterone, testosterone. There's so much distractions and there's so many options. What do you go with? So this is my recommendation. This is the kind of video that I want to make for you, so you know what you should get and what you shouldn't waste your time on, because I want to give you a plain and simple list. The first recommendation I would have for anyone asking me what supplement they should get that makes the biggest difference in their training: creatine. Creatine monohydrate, the plain and traditional form of creatine. Creatine is incredible because it increases ATP production, increases strength, and there's hundreds of studies out there proving its safety and its effectiveness. So there's no reason why you shouldn't use creatine. It is the natural's way of building muscle. Like, it is a natty's choice for building muscle. This one supplement I would recommend over anything, even protein powders. Creatine, you cannot get it from your diet. You would need to eat a lot of red meat, and even that is impractical because you would need to eat that for 7 days in a row to have some kind of effect. And even then, you'll be doing more damage than good to your body if you're eating that much meat. So creatine is totally natural, it's totally safe. I totally recommend it. You just need to drink water, because creatine does use a lot of water. The reason for that is because it increases water retention, but it mostly helps with like ATP production, making you stronger, lifting more, doing more work in your workouts, and it also helps with endurance in some way. But I also know it has benefits all over the body, not only for your muscles, but also your brain. I also know it has benefits for the heart, but also the skin, because Yeah, it's incredible, right? Because it increases hydration. When you have more water in you, it has some benefits for skin. Now, don't take my word for it. There are studies covering all aspects of creatine, from mental to physical. So there's all kinds of benefits. Creatine is the first supplement I would recommend. The second thing I would recommend, okay, so this is kind of tough. I wouldn't say it would be a multivitamin because that just came on my mind, but it would definitely be a pre-workout. So pre-workout increases energy, increases performance. It doesn't have to have caffeine. There are other ingredients that are non-stimulant that can increase focus. It has a ton of benefits all over the place, from mental to physical. And it also has, some pre-workouts can have nootropics, which can increase focus and concentration, allowing you to remain focused during your workout. So maybe you had a bad night's sleep, you take a pre-workout, it kind of like takes the distractive mindset away and puts you in a focused mindset. Of course, not all pre-workouts are created equally, but you could just have a cup of coffee and call that a pre-workout. Caffeine itself is such a big game changer for workouts. So if you just take coffee, good for you, that's a pre-workout. If you take a mushroom, you know, like cordyceps, something to increase endurance, that's a pre-workout. So pre-workouts doesn't have to be like a complete balanced formula. It could be non-stimulant, it could be something that has nitric oxide boosters, but there's a ton of benefits with pre-workouts. I think it's more important to have that over protein powders, because protein is from food, and protein powders just increases your protein intake. So if you're not getting enough protein, then maybe I can see protein powders being like a priority over pre-workouts. But in my opinion, pre-workouts are essential. Not essential, but I think it's more useful than protein powders. But my very first choice would be creatine. Pre-workouts is the next, but any pre-workout is fine. You don't have to go high stimulant. High stimulant doesn't always mean the best thing, because high stimulant means you'll have more vasoconstriction, less performance, less blood flow, and it has some side effects over time as well, because you're taking a beating to your heart, you're taking a beating all over the place, and high stimulant pre-workouts could mean anything that is over 300 milligrams of caffeine, and it may have other stimulants like yohimbine. It could have other stimulants. It could have like the dirty ones, the clean ones. Like the dirty ones are like the DMHA, DMAA, but just stick with something with caffeine, 200 milligrams or less if you want to be safe, if you want something. And if you are serious about training, then maybe 300 milligrams and maybe a bit more is fine. But if you don't have a tolerance, 100 to 200 milligrams is the perfect dose. And you can just go with bulk from Transparent Labs. They have two versions, one with 200 milligrams and the other one with 300 milligrams. So the one with 300 milligrams, you know, it's just that's the only difference. It's just the caffeine dosage. But they are both naturally flavored, which is why I always recommend Transparent Labs. All their stuff is naturally flavored. And if you want, you can use a discount code and I'll get a commission without any extra charge for yourself. But regardless, so we have creatine and we have pre-workouts. I have one more recommendation, and it wouldn't be protein powders, and it's mushrooms. Cordyceps is my favorite one for increasing endurance. It's the biggest game changer in my opinion, more than most pre-workouts. And a lot of some pre-workouts may have a mushroom blend called Peak O2. This will be also valuable because it has those mushrooms that increases VO2 max. So mushrooms has a ton of benefits. So some of them have more benefits for mental, some of them are more physical, some of them are more endurance, more, you know, there's different categories of mushrooms. And my favorite for training is cordyceps because it just removes lactic acid. It just feels like I can go on forever. I can continue from a heavy set to another heavy set without any break, barely. It feels like that, and I can just keep going. And I can make my workouts last for way longer than normal. I can, like, the difference I feel with mushrooms is huge, and particularly cordyceps for training. But if it's in a pre-workout, maybe you can have one with, but if you're looking for that in a pre-workout, it would either be in a blend called Peak O2 or cordyceps, but it's likely in that Peak O2 blend. But basically it does make a big difference. I could jog forever, I could train forever. It's a big game changer, and I totally recommend mushrooms. They are totally safe. I recommend them. They come from the earth, they're natural. I know some of them can be toxic, but there's a lot of ones that are good for humans, and they have been consumed by humans in ancient history, and it's used in research as well. So modern science does prove it works. So those are my top 3 supplements. But when it comes to extras, there is 1 or 2 things. The first one being a testosterone booster. I know it's controversial. Not a testosterone booster in the sense that you want to increase your testosterone, but in the sense you want to increase your male mindset, your confidence, your training, your endurance, your physical and mental abilities will be enhanced. Testosterone boosters usually contain herbs that have been used by humans for thousands of years by different regions in the world. So testosterone boosters will have multiple ingredients coming from different regions of the world. For example, India has ashwagandha, Asia has stinging nettle, I believe, long jack as well, like Tonkat Ali. There's a bunch of ingredients from different regions of the world, and we're getting them these days. There's testosterone boosters with extracts of those herbs. So it may have like a specific extract. For example, Shilajit has an extract called Prima V, and this extract is supposed to be like a high quality blend that contains a specific ratio or amount of compounds that makes it beneficial. That's where like the benefits come from. So testosterone boosters has a ton of benefits for humans when it comes to mindset, when it comes to physical performance, and just overall well-being. Aside from the fact that it could maybe possibly increase testosterone levels, it'll just like optimize yourself. I think testosterone boosters are even more important than multivitamins, but you may, if you do have like a deficiency or you're not getting everything from your diet, then that's when I would say get a multivitamin. And there's only one multivitamin that I have seen with the best forms for each vitamin, and that's Multi-Men or Multi-Sport by NutraBio. But be careful. They have 2 versions. The old one has pyrodioxine, and that's like the poor, less bioavailable form of vitamin B6. The new version has the proper form, and it also has everything else. Like every other form is proper, highly bioavailable, and you'll benefit from these types of multivitamins because your body's meant to absorb these kind of ingredients. And it's not just me saying this, it's science as well. In fact, there's a study, it's called the vitamin B6 paradox, where they found that traditional form of vitamin B6 to actually reduce your energy and to actually it increases the chances for developing certain mental diseases. So be careful, get the proper version of multivitamin. If you don't get multivitamin by NutraBio, I'll put all these links in the description, but if you don't get that one, but just make sure the forms are proper. And by looking at NutraBio's multivitamin, you'll be able to tell like this form is a good one, this form is a good one. And you can compare it to other multivitamins. If it doesn't have the same forms or it has like the total opposite, the ones that I don't recommend, then you avoid it. Don't get that one. So we have creatine, we have pre-workouts, we have mushrooms, testosterone boosters, but they're actually like multiple herb or a multivitamin from nature because it's coming from herbs. And so all these links I can put in the description for you below. But if you're going to don't waste your time looking for the newest, latest thing. I have been using testosterone. I have been using testosterone. I've been using all kinds of supplements, and it always comes down to 1 or 2 supplements that I would just keep with me. If I was to leave and go to a different country, I would take, creatine and a pre-workout and a testosterone booster. Those are like my main stack. Everything else is not even 1% extra. It's not going to give you anything extra, no extra gains, you're not going to be like, oh, I feel weaker. Whereas with creatine, you will actually feel weaker. So that's why I like using creatine. And of course, any supplement you take, you want to take like a week off or 2 days off on the weekend from not taking anything, because your body will build a tolerance, which is totally normal. It's totally fine, but you can just take 2 days or a week off from all supplements just to reset and recycle. That way you'll make the most out of supplements when you do take them. But honestly, everything else is distracting you. If you're walking into a supplement store, you can spend hours just trying to look for the right supplement, but just go with the basics. That's going to make 80% of your gains. Creatine, for example, will make 80% of your gains in the gym, 100%. Pre-workouts also is I think is 20%. Everything else is 2 to 5, it's nothing. You will not notice a difference. So block out all these social media channels that are get this supplement is really good. It did this for me, did that for me. If you're like a pre-workout hobbyist, you're looking for like the special experience, fine. But if you're looking for supplements to burn fat, to burn muscle, it's coming from your diet, it's coming from your training, not from supplements. Creatine will make a difference. I have taken all kinds of fat burners. Nothing really burns fat unless I eat less. I have to eat less. I have to train more. I cannot use a fat burner and be like, oh, I lost some fat. I lost some fat because I'm dieting properly. If I use a fat burner, it's going to help me maybe reduce my appetite. Maybe some of them can do that, but it really takes a lot for fat burners to do that. And at the end of the day, it's just easier, it's just to fast half the day and then use like a window of like 8 or 4 hours or whatever to eat. And then the rest of the day, you don't eat, you fast, and that way you'll eat less, your stomach will be smaller. So yeah, don't look for a supplement just to solve a problem. If you have a problem with losing fat, you need to train properly. You need to lift with your mind, with your body. You can't just go through the motions. You may need like a personal trainer or someone with you, but you should be conscious of your form and you should be using your form. So if you're looking to burn fat, you do need to eat less. If you're looking to build muscle, you need to lift with compound lifts. It doesn't have to be heavy, it has to be controlled. So compound lifts, eating less if you want to burn fat, build muscle, compound lifts. And it's possible to build muscle and lose fat at the same time. It's kind of hard and tricky, but the trick is to maintain your strength, lift for strength, lift with those barbell lifts, with those barbell exercises, and lift with low reps and change it up every once in a while, but low reps and 3 to 5 reps with not heavy, but relatively hard for you to lift. That way you'll maintain your strength. You'll have a better time maintaining your muscle mass and you won't lose as much. So it's really important. If you do want to make the most out of your training, then go to FitFrek.com. You can use the spreadsheets there. There's guides. Everything is free. And also you can use me. I'm going to make videos on whatever you ask me. So if you have a problem, let me help you solve it. If you want to burn fat, if you're trying to lose your love handles or you're trying to get bigger arms, bigger chest, I'm here for you. I will make the video as soon as possible. If I can do it within like 2 days and then publish it for you, heck, I have the time for you. So please, if you have any questions, there's no such thing as like a dumb or a good question. Please just ask it. It's better that you ask instead of taking action yourself and doing the wrong thing, because I know how it feels to go through so much time without actually being given the right advice. So don't waste your time. Don't look at these supplements on social media. Creatine, that's it. Pre-workouts, maybe. Caffeine, that's it. Like, you don't need more than caffeine, citrulline, a couple of ingredients to make the most out of your workouts. With caffeine alone, that should make most of your focus, most of your energy. And I know citrulline and there's agmatine, there's all kinds of different ingredients that can do different things, but don't confuse yourself. Just keep it plain and simple. A lot of your results, everything will come from your diet and program. Supplements in total is like 10%. And then within that 10% is like 9% or 8% creatine. And then the 2% is a mix, but mostly pre-workouts, mostly stuff that'll just give you the edge in performance, whatever works for you, right? So hopefully this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. And please feel free, leave the comment. I'm here. That's it. Thank you so much.